and welcome to Yoga with Amy. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Today we're going to be moving through a heart opening flow. It's really creating space in our chest, opening up our heart, releasing what we may be holding onto or holding any hurt wounds in our heart space. So it's going to be really an uplifting, opening, beautiful practice today. So when you're ready, we're going to start in a lying down position on our mat. So coming to lie on our mat, extending our legs out, tucking our tailbone, lengthening our spine. Finding our comfortable position on our mat. Maybe allowing the eyes to close or keeping them open. Maybe drawing hands to your belly or your heart space. Or maybe bringing hands down towards the ground for grounding. Or up towards the ceiling for receiving. Then taking a deep breath in. And exhaling, sighing it out. Taking another deep breath in. And opening our mouth and sighing it out. And one more deep breath in. Opening our mouth and sighing it out. Allowing our body to be completely relaxed on the mat. Feeling connected to the earth below us. Feeling held by the earth. Softening our shoulders and our feet. Relaxing our hips. Drawing our awareness to our heart space, our heart center, our rib cage, and just noticing how it's physically feeling. Maybe you're feeling a bit restricted in this area. Maybe you feel like you want to almost haunch your shoulders forward and close off your heart center. Maybe you have not really drawn your awareness to your heart center before. And it's a new sensation for you. Maybe you're feeling quite expansive, like you have a lot of space in your chest, and your whole heart center is feeling quite open and radiating forward. Wherever you may be today, just honoring how you feel. Beginning to deepen our breath, allowing our belly to rise on the inhale, drawing our belly button towards our spine on the exhale. Inhaling, belly rise. Exhaling, belly button to spine. Inhaling, belly rise. Exhaling, belly button to spine. Sticking with our deep breathing into our belly. Allowing our rib cage to expand as we inhale. And then on our exhale, drawing belly button to spine, allowing our rib cage to fall in. Trying to lengthen and extend our breath. Now if your hands are not already, drawing our hands over our heart center. And imagining beautiful golden light as we inhale through our nose, filling up our heart center, filling up our chest. And exhaling, releasing whatever may be on your heart, whatever you may be holding on to. Inhaling beautiful golden light into our chest, into our heart center. Opening our mouth, sighing out whatever may be on your heart today. Another one, breathing in beautiful golden loving light. And opening our mouth, sighing out whatever may be on our heart today. Just spending a few moments here, maybe sticking with that visualization of breathing in golden light and releasing what is on our hearts. Or just returning to your deep belly breathing. Noticing what is coming up for you without judgment. Just being aware of what is on your heart today. Not labeling it good or bad, just becoming aware. And then when we're ready, we're going to inhale our arms above our head. Coming into a full body stretch, pointing and flexing through our toes. Drawing our knees in towards our chest, giving them a squeeze. Bringing our feet as wide as the mat, knees into a 90-degree angle and dropping our knees from side to side. Coming into very gentle windscreen wipers, opening through our hips, opening through our lower spine. Maybe keeping your eyes closed throughout the practice or opening them, just seeing what resonates with you more today and with your body and with what space you're in today. And then coming back to center, extending our legs back out. We're going to come through a fish or a heart opener. If it feels a little bit deep for you, don't take it so deep. So bringing our hands down towards our mat. We're going to scooch ourselves up onto our elbows just slightly, dropping the crown of our head down towards the mat. Drawing shoulder blades away from our ears, opening up through our chest. And just taking a moment to breathe here. And making sure that our top of our head, our crown of our head is resting on our mat. Breathing deeply into our heart center. And then slowly lifting our head up, lowering ourselves down onto our mat. Drawing our knees in towards our chest, giving them a squeeze again. And rocking from elbow to elbow, side to side. And bringing our hands behind our knees, rocking along the length of our spine a few times. Making sure not to rock onto your neck. And so we're ready to rock up into a seated position. That feels most comfortable for you, maybe cross-legged. Bringing our hands to our shins, we're going to inhale, shining our heart forward, dropping our head back slightly. Exhaling as we round through the spine. Inhaling forward. Exhaling, rounding. Inhaling forward. Exhale, round. Inhale forward. Exhale, round. Maybe speeding it up a bit, if that feels good for you. Coming back to center, inhaling our arms up, exhaling over towards the left hand side, gazing over left shoulder. Dropping chin in towards chest, inhaling arms up, exhaling over towards the right hand side, left hand on right knee. So finding some movement here. Exhale through the twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale through the twist. Inhaling back to center. And then when you come back to your left hand side, twisting through, holding it here, gazing over our left shoulder, lifting our chest up, lengthening our spine. Inhaling back up to center, exhaling over towards the right hand side, left hand on right knee, gazing over right shoulder. Inhaling back up to center, bringing our hands down towards the mat, rolling over our shins, coming up into our tabletop position, coming into our cat and cow, so untucking tailbone, dropping belly to the earth, looking up, inhaling, and then tucking tailbone as we push the floor away and exhaling. Inhaling up, exhaling, pushing the floor away. Inhaling up, exhaling, pushing the floor away. Again, moving here at your own pace, seeing what feels good for you, maybe taking a little bit quicker today, or moving nice and slowly. Coming back into our tabletop position, we're going to walk our hands forward, melting our heart down towards the mat, keeping our knees and our hips stacked as we lower chest down towards the mat. Maybe bringing forehead down to the mat, cheek or chin. And again, taking a moment to breathe here. Feeling the deep opening through our heart center, through our chest. And noticing if there's restriction in your heart center coming through these deep openings. Often we want to close ourselves off from the world. We want to protect ourselves, protect our hearts. So sometimes coming into these deep heart openers may feel uncomfortable, may feel challenging. Just noticing where you are today. And then walking our hands back towards our body. We're going to extend our right leg, keeping our knee bent, drawing that foot, arching our head back, almost trying to get our toe and our head to touch, although they might not. Inhaling here, exhaling, we're going to draw knee to nose. Inhaling up, exhaling, knee to nose. Inhaling up. Exhaling, knee to nose. Opening up through chest as we gaze forward. And then keeping it lifted, drawing knee to nose. Bring that right knee back down towards the mat. Coming through some normal cat and cows. Coming over towards the other side. Lifting up our left leg. Keeping that knee bent. lifting that foot up, trying to arch it towards our head, drawing belly button towards the mat. Inhaling here, exhaling knee to nose. Inhaling up, exhaling knee to nose. And the next time, keeping it lifted, holding it there. Bring left knee down towards the mat, big toes together, knees wide as the mat. Reaching our hands forward, drawing bum back. Coming into a wide kneed extended child's pose. Taking a moment to breathe here. And then when we're ready, coming up into our tabletop position, tucking our toes under, pushing our bum back and up, coming into our downward facing dog, pedaling through our ankles, finding some movement here. Keep breathing nice and deeply. Keeping our chin tucked in towards our chest, gaze between our legs. And then when you're ready, finding our stillness in our downward facing dog, drawing heels down towards the mat, chest towards legs, spine nice and long. Maybe a bend in the knee here, maybe straightening legs. And then when we're ready, walking our feet towards our hands, coming to the top of our mats, bending through our knees, holding on to opposite elbow, drawing our arms alongside our ears, coming into our ragdoll, maybe swaying from side to side, maybe holding steady. And then coming back to center, releasing our arms, interlacing our fingers at the base of our skull, opening up our elbows. Bending through our knees slightly more so that our torso rests on our thighs. And just lengthening the back of our neck. Releasing our hands down, bending through our knees, rippling up through our spine. Inhaling our arms above our head. Bringing our hands to prayer at heart center, taking a moment to breathe here. Maybe eyes closed, maybe eyes open. Drawing awareness to our heart center. Breathing deeply into the space between our rib cage, our sternum, our heart center. And then inhaling back up. Shifting our gaze up towards the ceiling, drawing shoulders away from ears. Maybe coming into a slight back bend, drawing chest up towards the ceiling. Inhaling back up to center. Exhale as we swan dive down, forward fold. Coming into either a ragdoll or coming into our forward fold. See what feels good for you here. Tucking chin in towards chest. Taking a moment to breathe. And then lifting up into our halfway lift, bringing our hands to our shins, drawing our chest forward, lengthening the back of our legs. And then bending through our knees, bringing our hands to frame our front foot, stepping our right foot back, dropping right knee, and tucking right toes, lifting up into our low lunge. Sinking hips forward as we draw our heart up towards the ceiling. Relaxing shoulders away from ears. Circling our arms out behind us, bringing them to the base of our spine, drawing elbows together, lifting chest a bit more, maybe coming into a slight back bend. Breathing deeply into our heart center. And then lifting back up, bringing our hands to frame our front foot. Sinking hips down, lifting chest up. Fingertips on the floor. And then lifting back up, bringing hands to frame front foot, tucking our right toes under, stepping back into our plank. Lowering down into our knees, chest, chin. Inhaling up either into baby cobra or coming up into our cobra. Tucking elbows, drawing chest forward. Keeping our chin slightly tucked here, lengthening the back of our neck. Drawing our chest forward as we lower, tucking toes, scooching to knees. Either pushing back into a child's pose or up into a downward facing dog. See what feels best for you. Taking a moment to breathe. Shifting our weight over towards our left foot as we inhale our right foot up. Shifting our gaze forward, stepping right foot between our hands. Left foot to meet right, helping them forward if you need to. Coming either into a ragdoll or into our full forward fold, tucking chin in towards chest. Shifting our fingers forward, lifting up onto fingertips, lifting up into a halfway lift, flat back, strong legs. Or you can bring hands to shins. Releasing back down into our forward fold. Bending knees, rippling up through spine, or flat back, strong legs, reversing our swan dive up. Bringing our hands to prayer at heart center, lifting our sternum to meet our thumbs, rolling our shoulders back and down our spine, taking a moment to breathe here. Breathing deeply into our heart space. Into our heart center. Visualizing beautiful, loving, light energy filling your heart center with each inhale. And releasing whatever you may have been holding on to that has been blocking you off, that you've been using to protect yourself. That you're ready to release. Maybe it's past hurts or past wounds. That you need to release now, that you're ready to release now. Maybe it's just a defense mechanism that you use to protect yourself and you feel ready to release it. And when you're ready, inhaling, arms up above our head. Cactusing our arms out to the side, drawing chest forward as we drop head back, opening up through our heart center. Shining our heart forward. Inhaling back up to center. Exhale as we swan dive down, forward fold. Bring our hands to the mat, stepping our left foot back, dropping left knee and tucking left toes. Inhaling up into our low lunge. Relaxing shoulders away from ears. Sinking hips down towards the mat, lifting chest up towards the ceiling. Dropping head back if that feels comfortable. And then circling our arms back to the base of our spine, drawing elbows together, maybe sinking a little bit lower. Taking a moment to breathe here. Lifting back up, bring our hands to frame our front foot, sinking hips down, lifting chest up. Shifting our weight back, bringing hands to frame our front foot, tucking our back toes under, stepping back into our plank. Lowering down into our knees, chest, chin, inhaling up either into baby cobra or cobra, tucking elbows, drawing chest forward. Taking a moment to breathe. Drawing chest forward as we lower, tucking toes, scooching to knees. Maybe coming back into a child's pose or up into a downward facing dog. See what feels best for you. Taking a moment to breathe. Lifting up into your downward facing dog if you're not here yet. Shifting our weight over towards our right foot as we inhale our left foot up. Bending our left knee, stepping our left foot between our hands. Right foot to meet left. Coming into a forward fold for a moment. Inhaling up into a halfway lift. Exhale into our forward fold. Bending knees, rippling up through our spine or reversing our swan dive up. Interlacing our fingers above our head, taking our pointer fingers up towards the ceiling. Drawing chest up as we follow our pointer fingers with our gaze coming into a back bend. Taking this deep is what feels good for you. Taking a moment to breathe here. Inhaling back up to center. Releasing our hands, exhale as we swan dive down, forward fold. Bring our hands to the mat, stepping our right foot back, coming up into our warrior one. Inhaling arms up, interlacing fingers in front of us. Gazing over our pointer fingers, keeping that front knee bent, keeping our hips towards the front of our mat. Drawing our fingers up as we lift our chest up towards the ceiling, not allowing too much arch here, so keeping our core engaged as we lift chest up. Maybe taking it past that 90-degree point, see what feels good for you today. Inhaling back up to center, bring our hands to frame our front foot, stepping back into our plank. Coming through our knees, chest, chin into baby cobra or cobra, or coming through our chaturanga down into our up dog. Drawing chest forward as we keep our legs lifted, hips lifted. And then flicking over toes, coming up into downward facing dog, or pushing back into a child's pose. See what feels best for you here. When you're ready, coming back up into our downward facing dog, shifting our weight over towards our left foot as we inhale our right foot up. Shifting our gaze forward, stepping right foot between hands, bringing our left foot into that 45-degree angle, inhaling up into our warrior one on the other side. Taking our gaze past our fingers. Shifting our chest up, taking our gaze over our fingers, maybe past that 90-degree point, keeping our core engaged, keeping that chest lifted. Holding it here for a moment. Lifting back up to center. Releasing our hands down to frame our front foot, stepping back into our plank. Again, knees, chest, chin, or we can come through our chaturanga down into up dog or into cobra. Maybe coming up into downward facing dog or down into child's pose for a moment. Breathing nice and deeply. And then when you're ready, lifting up into our downward facing dog. Shifting our weight over towards our right foot as we inhale our left foot up. Shifting our gaze forward, stepping left foot between hands. Dropping right knee and tucking right toes, lifting up into our low lunge. Then we're going to come through our half camel here, or variation of half camel. So we're going to circle our arms back, bringing them to the base of our spine, shifting hips forward, drawing elbows together as we lift our chest. Taking a moment to breathe here. If it feels good for you, we're going to tuck our right toes under. Okay, maybe sinking deeper through this back bend. So shifting hips forward, lifting chest up. If it's accessible to you, releasing right arm down, catching hold of right ankle. And then maybe releasing a left hand, bringing thumb to pointer finger, taking our hand up. So keeping those hips moving forward, keeping that chest up. Breathing nice and deeply here. If it feels good for you, you can also untuck your toes, dropping slightly deeper. Maybe sinking head back, keeping our chest squared off. And then when you're ready, tucking chin, releasing left arm, bringing it to the base of our spine, bringing right hand to the base of our spine, lifting ourselves up. Bring our hands to frame our front foot, sinking hips down, lifting chest up. And then bring your hands to frame front foot as we tuck our back toes under, stepping back into our plank. Coming through our Vinyasa, maybe knees, chest, chin into baby Cobra, or coming through our Chaturanga down into an up dog. And then again, maybe pushing back into a downward facing dog, taking a moment to breathe. And then when we're ready, coming up into downward facing dog, shifting our weight over towards our left foot as we inhale our right foot up, stepping our right foot between our hands, lowering left knee and tucking left toes, lifting up into our low lunge. Relaxing shoulders away from ears. Taking a moment to breathe here. Circling our arms back and round, bringing them to the base of our spine, shifting hips forward, drawing elbows together as we lift chest. Tucking our left toes under. Maybe shifting hips forward as we drop a little bit deeper back. See how you feel. Being really aware of your spine and how it feels. If it feels good, extending left arm down, grabbing hold of left ankle. You can also grab hold of a block here, or something that's slightly higher if you can't reach ankle. And then if it feels good, extending right arm up, pointer finger to thumb, Gyan Mudra, squaring chest off, maybe dropping head back. Keeping the hips shifting forward, keeping that chest lifted. And then if it feels good, slightly lifting out and tucking toes, dropping back in deeper into this camel or half camel pose. And then releasing right hand to spine, drawing left hand to spine, lifting ourselves up. Bring our hands to frame our front foot, shifting our hips forward, lifting chest up. Taking a moment to breathe here, lengthening the back of our spine. And then when you're ready, shifting hips back, bringing both knees together, coming in to sit on our haunches, bringing hands to heart center, taking a moment to breathe. Noticing how your spine feels, noticing if you need to stay here, or maybe coming into an extended child's pose to rest out our spine. And then lifting back up, we're going to come into our full camel. If you don't feel like a full camel, you can stay in extended child's pose or coming up into downward facing dog. Otherwise, we're going to tuck our toes under. If it doesn't feel good to tuck toes under, you can use blocks to put your hands on instead of your legs, okay? So see where you're at. We're going to lift up, lifting hips forward, tucking tailbone here, drawing hips forward. So we want to keep the sensation of drawing our hips forward. Hips want to feel like they're moving forward. They don't want to ever sink back here. Also being really aware of how our lower spine feels. If it feels really compact here, we just need to tuck our tailbone a little bit more, lengthening our lower spine. So starting off by bringing our hands into our lower spine, drawing elbows together, lifting chest. Drawing hips forward as we lean slightly back. Breathing deeply here. Maybe sinking hips even more forward as we lean a little bit further back. Maybe you feel really good here. We're going to extend both arms down to catch hold of our ankles. Again, make sure you're not shifting back, but we keep those hips shifting forward, chest up towards the ceiling. Keep that tailbone tucked. Breathing nice and deeply. You can either keep your chin tucked or drop your head back. See what feels best for your neck. If you're feeling really good here, you can lift slightly out of it, untucking toes, dropping hands back, coming into the full expression of the pose. Remember, keep those hips drawing forward as you lean back. Breathing nice and deeply here. Feeling the opening in our heart center, deep opening our heart center. And then when you're ready, bring our hands back to the base of our spine, slowly lifting up. Setting our bum back onto our heels, reaching our hands forward as our big toes are together, knees are nice and wide, coming into an extended child's pose. Dropping forehead to the mat. Maybe shifting hips from side to side if that feels good. And then we're going to come up onto our fingertips, walking our hands slightly further forward as we draw our bum back, dropping our head past our arms down towards the mat. And then bringing hands down towards mat. Tucking our toes, bringing knees together, pushing bum back and up into downward facing dog. Pedaling out our ankles. Taking a moment to breathe. Feeling the lengthening in our spine. And then from here we're going to ripple through to our plank and we're going to lower down all the way onto our belly to the mat, okay? So you can do knees, chest, chin. Otherwise we're going to lower really nice and slowly, bending elbows back as we lower. Taking it as slow as what you can. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath. As we lower in one plank all the way down to our mat. Taking our toes apart. Hands as a pillow underneath our forehead, coming into our crocodile. Maybe rocking our hips from side to side, releasing that lower back from camel. Maybe just staying centered. Taking a moment to breathe. And then when you're ready, bring the tops of our feet to the mat. We're going to come up into our Sphinx. So we're going to draw elbows underneath shoulders. So that elbows and shoulders are stacked. And we're going to come into our Sphinx. It should be really easy here. If your elbows are too far back, you're going to try to feel like you're pushing yourself up. And if they're too far forward, you're not going to feel lifted. So making sure that elbows and shoulders are stacked, fingers are nice and spread, lengthening our tailbone, drawing chest forward. Drawing shoulders away from ears. Pushing up through elbows. And taking a moment to breathe. Taking our hands as wide as the mat, pushing up into our seal if that feels good, or staying in Sphinx. Remember, if we've got any pain or discomfort in our lower spine, we're just going to tuck our tailbone slightly, engaging our core. Also getting a little bit more lift here. And then drawing chest forward as we lower all the way down to the mat. Bringing our hands to a pile, toes out to the side, coming back through our crocodile, taking a moment to breathe. Then bringing our tops of our feet to the mat. And bringing our hands underneath our shoulders, coming up into our Cobra. So we can inhale. As we exhale, lifting ourselves up, pushing through our hands at the last moment, making sure not to lock out our elbows, so we're keeping a bend in our elbows. Drawing our chest forward, drawing shoulders away from ears. Okay, maybe you'll be a little bit lower depending on how your spine feels. And then keeping our gaze just in the top of our mat, so we're not arching our neck too much. And then drawing chest forward as we lower. Coming back into our crocodile, taking a moment to breathe. And then what we're going to do is bring our tops of our feet to the mat, bending through our knees. You can take your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and we're just going to rock our feet from side to side, just releasing any tension in our lower spine, releasing our hips, releasing our lower back. Just being mindful of how your spine is feeling, not pushing your spine past its limits. So if it's feeling a bit sore, maybe hold back. If you're still feeling good, you're welcome to keep going, just listening to our body. It does have all the answers. And then when you're ready, bringing our knees together, tops of our feet to the mat. Bringing our hands next to our hips, we're going to lift up into a locust. Forehead to the mat. Inhale. And as we exhale, lifting legs up, drawing hands back towards feet, keeping our legs nice and long, so don't bend those knees. Lifting chest up. Engaging our spine, feeling our abdominals also engage here for that deep lift. And then when we're ready, lowering back down towards mat, a power with our hands, feet out to the side, forehead to our hands, maybe rocking hips from side to side. Taking a moment to breathe. And then coming to another locust. We're going to do different arms here. So instead of bringing them next to our hips, we're going to bring them into cactus shape. When we lift, we're going to cactus elbows out to the side, drawing elbows together behind us. So tops of our feet to the mat. Inhale. And as we exhale, lifting feet, trying to draw elbows together, drawing shoulder blades together, feeling that lift. Breathing deeply, feeling our lower spine engage, feeling our abdominals engage. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready, extending our hands out in front of us, extending our legs, coming back into our crocodile, the power with our hands. Lying down on our hands, maybe rocking hips from side to side. And now you have two options, either coming back into your locust, or what we're going to do is we're going to come into a bow. So we're going to bend our knees, grabbing hold of our feet with our hands. If anything goes to cramp here, rather don't do this. Rather stay with your locust. Keeping our knees together, flexing through our feet. Inhale. And as we exhale, kicking our feet into our hands, feeling ourselves lift up. Breathing nice and deeply. Maybe even getting a rock here in your bow by breathing deeply into your belly. It can feel quite fun. And then when you're ready, drawing feet back in towards spine, releasing ankles with control, coming back to our crocodile, taking a moment to breathe. And then when you're ready, bring the tops of our feet to the mat, hands underneath shoulders. We're going to tuck toes, scooch to knees, pushing back into an extended child's pose. And then lifting up to sit on our haunches, taking our bum to one side, legs out in front of us. Shifting down our mat so we have place to roll down. Holding behind our knees, rounding through our spine as we roll down to the mat. Hugging our knees in towards our chest, rocking from elbow to elbow, side to side. And then coming back to center. We're going to come up into bridge or into wheel. So you have your decision here. I'll explain both and you can choose what feels best for you. Just remember, be very mindful of how your spine feels. If it feels too deep to go into a wheel, then rather stay in a bridge. Okay, your body will know when it's ready. Okay, so if we're coming through a bridge, we're going to place our hands. Even if you want to come through a wheel, let's start off with the bridge. So placing our hands next to our hips. Inhale. Make sure our feet is hip width distance apart. On our exhale, we're going to roll up through our spine. Lifting hips up towards the ceiling. Engaging our glutes. Keeping our chin tucked. Okay, maybe you feel like lifting a little bit higher by interlacing the fingers underneath our spine, rolling our shoulders underneath us, and lifting a little bit deeper. Okay, either staying in your bridge, if you feel comfortable here, or if you want to try wheel, slowly rolling back down out of bridge. If you're in bridge, you can come through a few bridges, or you can do one, come out of it and hug knees in towards chest. Okay, if you're trying wheel, we're going to keep feet hip width distance apart, like in bridge. Keep our weight pushing down through our heels, okay? So you can almost feel your toes lifted. So we don't want on toes, we want on heels, okay? Unless you're obviously trying to walk your feet in, okay? Then we're going to turn fingers towards our shoulders, palms out, okay? Drawing elbows in. Make sure your hair is out the way, otherwise we'll have a bit of hair pulling. From here, what you're going to do is you're going to push up onto the top of your head, okay? Crown of your head, elbows bent, elbows tucked in, on your feet, okay? I mean, your weight is through your heels. If you feel good there, pushing up further, lifting up into our wheel. Drawing chest forward. Taking a moment to breathe here, keeping our knees together. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Straightening arms. Maybe your arms are a little bit bent here, that's also okay. When you want to come out of our wheel, we're going to lower down to the top of our head, slowly onto the back of our neck, all the way down. Hugging knees in towards chest. Taking a moment to breathe. You can do another wheel or another bridge if you feel like it. Otherwise, just keep hugging knees in towards chest, lengthening the back of our spine. And then we're going to release our knees, bring your arms out into a T shape, dropping both knees over towards the left hand side, gazing over our right shoulder, coming into our spinal twist. Drawing knees back up to center, dropping them over towards the other side, gazing over the opposite shoulder. Drawing our knees back in towards our chest. We're going to extend our left leg, drawing our right knee across our body over towards the left hand side, gazing over our right shoulder. Drawing our knees back in towards our chest, giving them a squeeze. We're going to extend our right leg as we draw our left knee across our body over towards the right hand side, gazing over our left shoulder. Drawing our knees back in towards center, giving them a squeeze. Coming into our happy baby, bring our hands between our knees, holding onto the outside of our feet, or holding behind our knees. Drawing our feet together, hugging knees together. Extending, coming to lie on our mat. Shifting around, finding your most comfortable position for Shavasana. Maybe bringing hands to heart center again, or wherever feels good for you. Completely relaxing our body, softening our shoulders and our elbows. And we're going to draw awareness to our heart center. Drawing awareness to our ribs, below our ribs to our hearts, to our actual heart that is pumping to begin with. So feeling your heartbeat. Feeling the strength of your heart as it pumps blood to all the spaces of our body. Feeling the strength in the beat. Being in awe of how we do not have to tell our heart what to do. Our heart just does. And then envisioning beautiful green light in our heart center. Green is the color of the heart chakra, so we can envision that chakra, envisioning that green light spinning in a circle, spinning around and around like a merry-go-round. And with each inhale into your heart center, you're filling up with more beautiful green light. And with each exhale, you're releasing all the blockages in your heart center. Inhaling beautiful green light. Exhaling all the things that have been on your heart center that are resisting, restricting you from loving. With a deep inhale. Beautiful green light. Exhaling, releasing. Inhaling beautiful green light. The love, the cleansing, the purity of our hearts. The openness of our hearts. And exhaling, releasing what is no longer serving you, that is in your heart center space. Inhaling, releasing what is blocking your heart chakra. Then one more deep inhale. And releasing control of your breath and just allowing it to be. Focusing on our heart center for a moment, noticing how it feels. Noticing if there's a shift from the beginning of the class. Noticing the expansion, the love that is radiating from your chest, radiating from your body. This love does not have to be for someone specific. It can just be an overwhelming, beautiful love. And sticking with the sensation of love or releasing and just coming into Shavasana for a few moments. Bring our awareness back to our breath, back to our body. Drawing our knees in towards our chest, giving them a squeeze, sending ourselves some love. Rolling onto whichever side best serves you, coming into the fetal position for a moment. Feeling held and supported by the earth. Using our top hand to push us up into a seated position. Maybe bring our hands to prayer, heart center, or hands to our knees. May the long time sun shine upon you. May all love surround you, and may the pure light within you guide your way on. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Satnam. Thank you very much for being here. Sending lots of love. Bye.